Hello, everybody. Welcome to our one-stop series, basically demoing a specific piece of the BlueHornet platform, really showing you some of the small things that you probably miss going throughout your day, and you really don't tackle this specific thing within the platform. You just kind of going through your routine and never really get a chance to actually use this part of the platform. And so today we're talking about recurring messages. And I think amongst all of our clients, it's not utilized enough. And at the heart of recurring messages is marketing automation. It's automating those things that you routinely do and letting the technology do it for you. And that's the awesome piece. So it frees you up to actually do some more creative things or strategize or analyze your campaigns. And I used to use it quite a bit when I used to work at the Western Growers, my former employer. I used to work in the association space. And so recurring messages is perfect for quite a few things that you routinely do. Events, reminders, post-event reminders, membership. It really saves you time on membership renewals. If you think about it, you have the 90-day, 60-day, 30-day notices that go out. And even if you have those post notices, right, after their membership expires, and if you're doing that on a 30, 60-day, 90-day interval, that can be 6 messages that you can replace and allow the computer to do that for you. And if you're doing that on, if you have not an annual membership, but if you have a membership that renews on a specific date, this can be a time saver for you. And a lot of times recurring messages, what it does, not only replaces certain things that you're doing already, but also puts in some marketing automation so that there's things that you probably never got to do because it would be impossible for you to do something like membership renewals on a specific day. The day that they actually became a member, you're actually disseminating 30 days out, 60 days out, 90 days out when it's time to renew. And simple things like, also like the new members, sending them a packet, And so the foundation to recurring messages also as well is having an integration in place. And, our Plus integration allows you to, sync over certain fields into the BlueHornet platform. And that is key. Having an integration in place. Now, manually uploading lists, that kind of, removes the marketing automation point to this, right? So having that good integration in place allows you to sync over specific fields that will help to build out some of those communications. And so today we're going to step through a few things, a few examples. One being some simple things like a birthday notification and a new member notification, and also step through some of those things that happen in the association space, like the membership renewal. We'll walk through that, 30, 60-day, 90-day renewals. All right, so let's take a look and dig into the platform here. We're just going to jump right into it. No PowerPoint. It's just straight BlueHornet demoing the platform and showing you how to do these things. Okay. All right, so right now you see me, I'm at the dynamic segmentation piece, and to navigate to that is segmentation, static segments, and then you have your dynamic segments, and you click manage dynamic segments, and that's where you can create dynamic segments. Now let me explain what dynamic segments is really quick, because that is another foundation to using recurring messages. Now we're going to have another talk in a couple weeks on dynamic segmentation, and we'll get into some more specifics with dynamic segmentation, but I'll just speak about the high level and explain what it is and how it connects to recurring messages. So dynamic segmentation is hence the word dynamic. It changes based upon your search criteria, right? So you specify a search criteria for the system to go out and pull certain subscribers back. All right, and then that runs at the time the message is sent. right? So let's take a look at something like new member, right? So let's look at that search criteria real quick. All right, so what I have coming over in the integration, this specific integration, is a date field. And this date field is the AMS join date. Now that join date, I simply just drag it over into the search criteria. And what I want to bring back is people that have joined my association in the last 3 days in the past, right? So not exactly a day or exactly on the day. I want to just give it a little time before I send out that communication to them. And so what this is going to do is once I connect it to a recurring message, it's going to bring back anybody that fits that criteria, right? So if I wanted to, just quickly switch this and bring back people that have signed up today, I would just simply put that as a 0, and now would give me anybody that has renewed, or not renewed, but joined today. But for this example, I'm just going to do 3 days in the past, okay? All right, and so you just simply save this dynamic segmentation into your suite of segmentation here, and now you have that and it's ready to go. Okay, so let's jump into recurring messages. And so again, dynamic segmentation is key here. It is that foundation and that connector piece. So you have to have that integration in place. You got to manipulate the data in a certain way, have some queries set up that refresh on a daily basis. So whether it's the integration doing that or dynamic segmentation, and then what we want to do is connect those to recurring messages. Okay, so let's head over to recurring messages. All right, so let's hit create a new recurring message. All right, so we're going to do the new member packet, right? So this is new members coming into our organization, and we want to give them specific information about our organization, maybe download a PDF document or something that they need to review, member services. Also, what we used to do is actually put a link to the EPC saying, hey, welcome to our organization, and here's a link to the email preference center, EPC for short, and update your preferences. Let us know exactly what you want to receive from us and how you want to communicate with us. So let's step through this really quick. Here is bill codes. Not everybody uses bill codes, but for just a high level, it just allows you to tie certain messages for accounting purposes. Okay, so a lot of people don't have it required, but on my sandbox it is required. So I'm gonna just put tests for now, and then I'm going to specify some segments. And so with the new member campaign notification, I am going to use that new member dynamic segment that I created. The search tool is key here when you have a lot of segments. It is extremely helpful. Remember to use your percent signs. That helps a lot. And that allows you to use that wildcard to find anything with 00 in it. And so I'm going to hit search, and I'm going to bring back some of my dynamic segmentation that I have here. And I'm going to use the new member segment. And I'm just going to add that really quickly. Now that that's in place, now I've got my list, the people I'm going to communicate to. I'm just going to, put in a subject, something simple. Welcome to, and I'm going to just use something vague, but to our organization. All right. So simple subject that the member will see, and then everything else I'm just keep defaulted, but depending on your platform or your system, you'll have different defaults for the from name, sender email, and the reply email, and as well as the footer that goes in there. And then next step is to actually create the template. Okay, you load templates by clicking on this piece of paper with the blue lines on here, and just quickly click that. And then I'm going to use my responsive template that I have saved in my system. So I'm going to hit that, hit select template, Now it loads the template into my recurring message. And now I can actually edit my message and add some additional things about new membership and so forth. And it's fairly simple to just kind of highlight text and say, welcome. You know, you can just highlight the text and add the text as you go. And then here is like a simple call to action. Maybe that's a link to the email preference center. Maybe it's a link to a document that they want, that you have out there that you want a member to read, maybe a PDF document or something along those lines. All right, and so once I've kind of completed my template and I kind of fleshed out all the details of what I want to say, I'm gonna just head on to the next step, right? And the next step is basically tracking all of the links within the message. So that's also a cool feature to this as well, is that you can, when you're sending out this new member campaign, you'll actually know who downloaded those materials that you sent out to your members and who actually opened up those messages. So that's the cool piece to this as well, is that you get some analytics behind this too. All right, I don't have any links present in my template, so I'm gonna just go ahead and continue to the next step. And this is the step that is the most important, right? This step lets BlueHornet know when you want to send out the recurring message, all right? So recurring meaning that it's going to be triggered on its own. And the triggering mechanism is a date or the interval of how often and when you want to send this message. The first section, enable and disable message, is really just letting the system know whether this is an active or inactive message. I'm gonna just make it active and go ahead and because we're just gonna put this on the fly and saying yes, let's make this live right now. All right, and the next step, the next required field is a date. All right, so you gotta specify when this message will start. All right, so it doesn't have to start today. You can postpone it to start another day from now, maybe a month later, and set this up to start triggering. But you know, for today, we're just going to fire this off today. All right. So today being the 15th, so we put that date in, and then you can also specify an end date. And that's pretty cool too. So you can say, all right, I want this recurring message only to run during this campaign time. Right? So if you have a specific campaign, maybe something like an annual meeting, or even the membership renewal campaign, if you're on like an annual basis and you only want to, you know, specify, you know, between May and September for it to run, that's what you want to do, is specify a start and end date. All right, so this is the most critical part to is the sending pattern. This is really where you get into some granular details on how you want this message to be triggered. All right, this example is going out daily, right? So new members are coming in on a daily basis, and I want this communication to go out daily and go out and look at that dynamic segment and see how many people are in there and send the message to them. And remember that dynamic segment was looking for new members in the past 3 days, right? 3 days ago. So anybody 3 days ago that has signed up, they're gonna get this communication. But I can also set this up in a different way. I can set it up to go every 2 days, 4 days, 5 days. I don't have to have it go out daily. I can specify for it to go out, you know, 5 days, right? Or I can say it can only go out on a specific day. Why send it out on a weekend? Maybe I'll just send it out Monday through Friday, okay? There's also days within the month. Maybe I only wanted to send it out on the 1st and the 15th. Make sure my dynamic segment reflects these criteria, because again, they go hand in hand. But my example is daily, right? So you have a lot of flexibility here in terms of specifying how you want this message to be triggered. So there's a myriad of different ways where you can mix and match the criteria to get this message to go out exactly the way you want it. All right, now let's specify a time, right? I want this to go out first thing in the morning. Key thing here is that it's on Pacific time. So if you're on the East Coast, you want to make sure you have the time that reflects the East Coast time, right? So I wanted to go first thing out, so 5 a.m. 5 a.m. in Pacific time. And so let's also, and the rest of this is basically defaulted, right? And so all I have to do is click next. And oh, I didn't put anything in the future, today's date. So let's do something in the future. So let's specify something in the future. So let's do that. All right. And now it's it. That's it. My message is set. It's going to go out at 8. And now each day is going to go into that dynamic segment and pull back anybody that has joined my organization with 3 days ago and send them a membership package. And that's awesome. That's a task that's eliminated from my duties, and now I'm freed up to do other creative things, right? And really strategize and kind of think about new campaigns and the ways to generate new members, right? And so, you know, taking this out of my day, right? This could have been maybe sending out a new membership campaign, could have, you know, took, an hour, 30 minutes out of my day. Now I don't have to do that. I can just let the system do that for me. And now this will go out each day. And now I got some free time to do some fun stuff. All right. Let's talk about another example. All right. Another example is the membership renewals, the 30, 60, 90 days. And I'll show you the logic to that as well. Let's hop back over again and go into the segmentation, our dynamic segment, and look at, you know, our 30, 60, 90 day renewals, right? So let's look at the logic again. Again, we don't get into any specifics really with the dynamic segmentation. We got another a webinar coming with that, and so look out for that. You can hit me on Twitter if you have any additional questions and so forth on dynamic segments leading up to that that webinar, that demo. But for now, let's look at this. All right, so I have a renewal date that's coming over in the integration, right? I want to pull back anybody that renewal date is 30 days in the future, right? So from today, 30 days, I want to send them a communication, right? And say, hey, your renewal is coming up in 30 days. Here's a link to renew. And let's set this up in recurring messages. All right, so let's go back. So this is our dynamic segment, and let's go back to messages and create a recurring message. All right, again, under build codes, we kind of went through this before. Just put in test because in most cases this is not required in most clients' accounts, but some it is required. All right, so let's get into our segments. All right, let's review this again. Click on include segments. Quickly look up my segment that I've had, all right? And here is the 30-day renewal, right? All right, so that's the people that I want to get this on a daily basis. This membership is set up so that, you renew on a specific day. It isn't annual, okay? And then I'm gonna put in renew today as a subject. All right, and then I'm going to create the template again, and really simple, bring that back by clicking on the piece of paper with the blue lines, okay? And here's my template, same template, easy to change, and I can highlight the text again and say something like membership renewal. All right. Obviously, this would be some text here, maybe adding some imagery or something like that to bring across to the person to kind of make it a little warmer in terms of a marketing communication. I've seen different ways of doing this. Some people actually input some personalization in there in terms of how much the renewal is. And so you can easily do that by clicking on this personalization tag and adding additional elements into the template. So for instance, if I wanted to say, you know, hi Adam, right? I can say hi here, and then I can add in a personalization tag and come down and find where first name is and insert that tag. And now I'm adding a little bit more personalization to this potentially cold email. You're asking them for money, right? So you want to kind of warm it up and make it a little bit easier for them to want to renew with you, right? And so you can add images in here that reflect your membership as well. But I've seen different ways of doing this as well. Some people actually put together a mock kind of receipt at times too. But regardless of how you do it and how your approach is, whether you kind of go with the warmer approach or more of the straight up receipt, you can add in personalization from your integration. Again, that integration is key, right? Having that plus integration in place allows you to bring that data over. So you can bring over things like renewal amount along with the renewal date and put that in here as well so the person knows exactly how much they owe, right? And then you would probably make this a link to where possibly the eBiz component to the AMS. And when they click on that, that actually sends them over. I've seen other ways of kind of bypassing SSO or the sign-on. Some people have tokens coming over as a field, and that allows them to automatically log into the eBiz, bypassing that kind of step that prevents people sometimes of renewing, right? Hitting that login screen, forgot my login, oh, I got to do the reminder, and then it goes through that. Now, and that is your time for that customer is extended, and rather than being a 2-minute deal, now it's a 15-minute ordeal for them to renew. So I've seen people pass in tokens that allow them to automatically bypass the login step so that they can renew. Other elements to a renewal also is just a direct link for them to kind of like a sub-page for them to renew that is outside of eBiz, making it easier for them to renew as well. Regardless of your approach, there's many ways you can reach out to us, and we can kind of figure out or work together to get this to work in a way that is beneficial to you. But here is definitely a call to action that you want them to go and renew. All right, so I'm gonna just save this template. All right, and hit next. And the next step is your link tracking step. I didn't put any links for the sake of this this demo here, but typically there would be a list of links, and I'll check that off to make sure that it's tracking those links. So now I know who's clicking on that renewal link, and then I'm gonna hit next. Again, this is the critical step of kind of scheduling this recurring message, all right? And so I'm going to enable this message to go out every single day, all right? And this is renewal that's happening. This specific example is a membership renewal. People sign up on a specific day. It's not an annual basis, okay? And so, again, have a start date. I'm going to say today. I have this renewal message go out today, and then my sending pattern, it's going to be on a daily basis. And so again, this message will go send out, look at that dynamic segment that I've set up, and see who has a renewal 30 days in the future, and remind them, hey, your renewal is coming up in 30 days. And then you specify the time, again, of when you want this to go out. And so I'm going to just put something in the future for today, just because, the system wants you to put it sometime in the future. So I'm going to just hit next. And then that's it. That's my 30-day renewal, and that's set up. And so recurring messages is key. It eliminates a lot of kind of that routine work that you're doing. I remember doing renewals and just batching them up, right? Rather, we didn't have the ability to send them out each day and do the 30 days in the future. So we would batch them up on a monthly basis instead, right? And so giving you that flexibility to kind of figure out how you want to schedule your message, that granular detail on the recurring messages steps allows you to do anything to trigger that message, or schedule it anytime to schedule that message. And so it's an awesome feature. I think everybody should take advantage of it. Other examples of using recurring messages is event reminders, the pre-event and post-event, right? Setting those up to automatically go out. And again, the integration is key there, with bringing over the people that have registered for your event automatically into BlueHornet as a segment. Okay, so that's all for today in terms of recurring messages, and if a quick demo of recurring messages. But if you have any questions, hit me on Twitter, or contact your account rep, or hit me on Twitter. I think that's probably the best thing to do. So, all right, I'm signing off, and enjoy the rest of your day.